Hello everybody and welcome to Next Stop Anywhere. My name's Eric and today I'm going to be discussing my top 10 do's and don'ts of traveling to Rwanda. Now, before I start this video, I would just like to ask if you could like and subscribe, especially if you want to hear more about my adventures in Rwanda and everywhere else I've been to. I'm also going to be starting a segment soon called The Human Experience, in which I discuss culture and how we can take the cultures from the places we've traveled and incorporate them into our own lives to give us a better understanding of what it means to be human. So I hope you subscribe so we can check that out in the future. Hopping right into it, at number 1, my first don't is do not be scared. When I went to Rwanda, I traveled with a group of people, and a lot of them were absolutely terrified, and I couldn't figure out why. Then, upon thinking about it further, I realized that, at least if you're an American, you grow up kind of being told that a lot of stuff in Africa you should be scared of, and the truth is, you shouldn't be, especially with Rwanda. Rwanda is an incredibly safe country. I've known many people who just take solo walks by themselves at night, including myself, and they have felt perfectly safe, including many of my female colleagues. Now, I'm not saying don't have any cautions. I'm not saying don't take any precautions. I'm just saying just exercise the normal safety you would when traveling to any country. But don't worry, you're not going to get hurt as soon as you cross the border. It's an incredibly safe place with incredibly kind and friendly people. Alright, my second don't, and this one might sound a little weird, but don't wear shorts. I know that sounds a little weird, and Rwanda is by no means a very conservative country. I mean, they have some more conservative-leaning politics, but the point is more just, if you wear shorts, nobody's going to be upset at you, you're just going to stick out like a sore thumb. So if you're trying to blend in a little more, I would recommend wearing shorts. The average male outfit I saw there were trousers, slacks, and typically button-down shirts, actually, despite the heat of the country. For women, you're fine wearing dresses, you're fine wearing anything, just try not to make them too short. Like I said, you're not going to get in trouble. This is just if you want to blend in with what the average person is wearing in Rwanda. My third don't bring plastic bags. Unlike America, Rwanda actually takes precautions to help the environment from climate change. So plastic bags are illegal in the country. It makes the place look beautiful and it protects their tourism industry. But because of that, if you have plastic bags on you, you will have them confiscated. I had plenty of plastic bags confiscated for me at the border because I was unaware of this rule. So don't make the mistake I did and toss out those bags. Besides, you're helping the environment. Alright, my fourth don't. Don't expect everyone to speak English. Now, something I've learned from a lot of American travelers is they just kind of automatically assume that everyone in the world speaks English. This is probably a fault of the American education system, but I'm not going to go into that right now. My main point is just, if you go to Rwanda, realize that not everybody is going to speak English. I mean, before the unfortunate 1994 genocide, most people spoke French. And while there is a big push to modernize the school system and teach English, plenty of people in the country still do not know the language. So, I'm not saying you need to learn Kinyarwanda. It's a very different language than English. I'm just saying that it would be useful probably to know some phrases in Kinyarwanda, such as a simple muraho, just to seem polite, and realize that you're probably not going to be able to have a conversation with every single person you meet. That being said, I don't speak Kinyarwandan, and I got by just fine in the country. That being said, I'll include some sources in the description of good places where you can learn some basic Kinyarwandan phrases. 5. This is a very big don't. I'm really amazed I even have to put this in here, but I've heard it a lot of times while I was in Rwanda. Do not joke about the genocide. As I'm sure you're aware if you're going to Rwanda, there was a genocide in 1994 against the Tutsis. If you are going to Rwanda, do not joke or talk casually about this genocide. I've heard many people asking questions like, were you Hutu or Tutsi? Like, that is not okay to ask. The way they look at it now is everybody is a Rwandan. They share a singular culture, and that is Rwandan. So to ask if someone was Hutu or Tutsi or to make casual jokes about the genocide is wrong, especially because it was only 25 years ago, roughly. To joke about that is not okay, and you're really going to offend a lot of people who most likely knew somebody who passed in the genocide. So again, just don't joke about the genocide and you're going to be okay. Now, I'm not saying don't talk about it. It is very important to discuss. It's a big part of Rwandans' history and culture, and they're currently discussing the ways they can deal with it and move on. And it's a big part of their education process. Memorials are everywhere. I'm not saying avoid talking about the genocide, just be very respectful when you do so. Well, bouncing off of that note, I'm going to start with my first do. Do make sure you visit the Genocide Memorials. If you're going to Rwanda, you should not go and avoid the Genocide Memorials. Yes, it's a heavy topic, but they are a great chance to learn about an important aspect of Rwandan history. They are beautifully built, and they're very enlightening experiences. I specifically recommend the Kigali Genocide Memorial in Kigali. Also, do make sure you try new cuisines. Something that I see a lot of Americans and other travelers do when they go to other countries is they stick to the foods they know. That being said, I did not find a single McDonald's in Kigali. But the point is, yes, you can find any of the food you want. For example, Meze Fresh in Kigali serves Mexican food. You can find Chinese food. You can find pizza. You can find all of these foods that you are already used to. But I really recommend branching out, experiencing the culture, and trying some real Rwandan cuisine. It will not kill you, and it actually tastes pretty good. Some warnings, though, especially if you're living with a host family like I did, Rwandan meal structures are a little different than they are in America. In America, at least, most meals are considered big meals. Breakfast is a big meal, lunch is a big meal, dinner is a big meal. In Rwanda, breakfast is rather limited. You're mostly going to be drinking tea and eating bread. That's what I had every single day. And dinner is going to be usually incredibly late. Like, I'm talking, at least in my household, it was 10, 11 o'clock late. And it's mostly going to consist of things such as rice, plantains, eggs are surprisingly big there. But like I said, this is only really applies if you're living with a host family. If you're staying by yourself, you have a bit more flexibility in what and when you eat. But nonetheless, please try different cuisines. You will not regret it. Another one, do leave Kigali, and by extension, do leave certain neighborhoods in Kigali. I'm not saying these are bad neighborhoods. I'm saying that when you go to Rwanda, you're probably going to be sticking to Kigali, and you're probably going to stick to roughly the Kichiru area. Now, these are absolutely amazing places, but there are other amazing places in Rwanda. Some of the most beautiful views I saw was walking from Kimironku to Kibagabaga. I mean, most of my souvenirs came from the Kimironku markets. You can find many amazing neighborhoods in Kigali that you need to explore, and by extension, you should check out the other areas in Rwanda, such as Lake Kivu or Akagira. Kigali is a great place, but you're missing so much of this country if you only stick to one city. Another one, do convert your money. You will lose money if you stick to American. Now, most places in Rwanda will accept the American dollar, but because of that, because of the exchange rate, you're going to be losing quite a bit of money. So I do specifically recommend going and converting your money to Rwandan francs. The exchange rate wasn't that bad for me, and a lot of things in Rwanda are comparatively cheap, so I got through 3 weeks just spending roughly converting $200 US. Now, of course, I am a rather big spender, and most Americans are rather big spenders, so adjust your budget accordingly. Number 10, and this is my final do. Do make sure you bring your own water bottle with a water filter, and make sure you get all your necessary vaccines and prescriptions, etc. What I mean is, Rwandan tap water is not safe for the average non-Rwandan to drink. There are things in it that our bodies simply aren't accustomed to. I used the Life Straw bottle. I'll include a link to that in the description. It served me incredibly well while I was there, and I never had a single issue using it. Also, another big note, make sure you have a yellow fever vaccine if you are coming from a country which has yellow fever, such as Uganda. If you do not have a vaccine and proof of that vaccination, you are not allowed to cross into the Rwandan country. Luckily, I did not stay in Uganda long enough to actually need the vaccine, but nonetheless, if you are planning on staying in a country, you should check to see if you need the vaccine or not. So make sure you get all those medicines you need, make sure you have plenty of medicine from your home country in case you can't access it in Rwanda, and make sure you have a water bottle filter. Alright, well that was it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll be posting more videos talking about my experience staying in Rwanda for 3 weeks, and I'll be posting my experiences from other travels. And like I said, I'm going to be starting that new series soon where we talk about different cultures and how we can incorporate it into our own lives. So make sure you like, subscribe, drop a comment of places you'd like to hear about, and I'll see you next time on Next Stop Anywhere.